Air Transat says it plans on flying all of its customers home from Cuba by today. The intensifying fallout of the U.S. fuel blockade of Cuba has led all Canadian airlines to pause flights to the island. With spring break fast approaching, Canadians with upcoming travel plans to Cuba are asking how they can be reimbursed for disrupted vacations. So for more on what travelers need to know, we've brought in travel journalist Lauren Christie. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
Okay, Air Canada, WestJet, Air Transat all offer these all-inclusive vacations to Cuba. Air Canada flights to Cuba we know have been suspended until May 1st.
Yeah.
WestJet flights are canceled until the end of April. Air Transat service to the island is suspended now until April 30th. So what are Canadians with these disrupted plans supposed to do?
Well, I think you just cancel your vacation. I mean, that's the only option. All of the major operators that you just mentioned, including other ones like Ola Sun that go down there, have basically said, as of this past weekend, if you check, they will say full refund. So you have two options. You can either get a full refund, or you could take the credit of your vacation, the value of that vacation, and there are also many of them offering to apply it to a different destination.
Oh, okay.
But as you said off the top, part of the issue is that it is not, spring break season is here now. You know, schools and universities from now until the end of March have driven up availability or lack of availability at these various resorts. So although you might be able to take the credit, agents that I talked to over the weekend are saying you're probably going to pay double, triple, or even quadruple the price for your vacation because it's just expensive so last minute. So I think a lot of Canadians, good news, you'll get a refund. Bad news is you're likely going to have a staycation instead.
You're going to lose your vacation.
Yeah.
So the Cuban government is launching what they are calling the Efficiency and Facility Consolidation Plan for its tourism sector. Bloomberg reporting that 2 major resorts are shutting down. If resorts aren't operating, how can travelers get their money back?
It's still covered, you know, so these provincial industry, the travel industry has provincial agencies here in Canada that cover the cost, so you should get it covered. The other thing you can do, I mean, if for some reason there was a reason you weren't getting some money back, look at your travel insurance. If you have full travel interruption cancellation insurance, specifically the cancel for any reason, you should be covered. I mean, the basic rule of thumb is they don't want you to be out of pocket. So if you get a full refund or use as a credit, that's done. That's not going to count. But if there's other costs that may come up from the minute that you leave your house that were supposed to be related to your trip. Again, I was talking to an agent this weekend, and you know, for example, you booked a hotel in Toronto at the airport the night that wasn't parked. So things like that might be covered. And she even said she had a client that had her dogs in prepaid boarding for 2 weeks, and she got that money back. So just ask. But again, policies vary, but full policy should cover you for anything out of pocket due to this cancellation.
And is the application then going to the airline? Is it going to the resort? Like, where are you getting the money back from?
Well, usually it would be the tour operator, and otherwise you go through your travel insurance provider, and they will help you out. Or your travel agent, if you've used a travel advisor. That is also very helpful.
It is my new way to go.
Yeah.
I've gone back to the old ways.
Yeah.
Listen, travel disruptions in the Caribbean during the hurricane season often more predictable than a U.S. fuel blockade. Nobody saw that coming. What could this escalating situation mean for the future of tourism in Cuba if we're hearing already 2 resorts shutting down?
Yeah, it's a little devastating. I mean, even prior to this, the numbers, Cuba has traditionally been one of Canada's, you know, Canada's been one of its top import of tourism. The numbers were going down a little bit because they've had electricity issues. They've had rolling blackouts the last year or two. So it is going to be quite devastating when you think about it. We're a major source. And not only that, but this all started with a global airline industry notice saying that there was lack of fuel at Cuban airports. So we're not the only country that has ceased flying in there. So it is going to be pretty ugly because this is the peak season for Cuba. And it's really quite sad for the tourism industry down there. And on top of that, as we were talking before, you know, this new travel advisory from the Canadian government, which is fair, saying to avoid all non-essential travel, really you shouldn't be going to Cuba at all because it's unlikely that any insurance would cover you there with that advisory in place. So it's fingers crossed for that April 30th, May 1st deadline to see if things turn the corner for Cuba, but the effects of this particular tourism season is going to be devastating. It
is a hard time made even harder by the fact they are losing right now, or at least pausing on one of their major industries. Lauren, good to understand what the whole picture looks like. Thanks for coming in. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.